This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's number one show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sob like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, a very, very good win from the New York Knicks tonight over the San Antonio Spurs, 121-109. And yes, we needed to get a win like this. A very good all-around win from the New York Knicks on the road against a team that's been playing well, although they do have a sub-500 record. It's a team that's been playing well. They haven't won in San Antonio in who knows how long, 7 games or something like that. So this is a very good win from the New York Knicks. Good ball movement. And you see what happens when you make shots, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks score 121 points. You make shots, you score points. You win games. Sometimes it really is as simple as that. Really is. But good game from the Knicks tonight. I got Steph with me. And we're going to go ahead and break this one down, ladies and gentlemen. And good to come on and talk about a Knicks win. Snap the losing streak at 3. Steph, what are your thoughts about this game?
You know what? It was good to see. You know, it was good to see RJ hit some shots, be aggressive. It was good to see Mitch look like Mitch, you know. And, you know, shout out to Josh, Uncle Fulio, who put in the chat before I came on that there was no change in the offensive schemes. You know, players hit shots, and that was the difference in the game. So, yeah, and hopefully this is the beginning of a good run for the Knicks.
Yeah, you know, the chance is there with them playing, you know, 3 teams in a row who are below 500, and with the way that the Knicks been playing on the road or at home and on the road, it's probably better off that they're playing these teams on the road.
Right.
You know, so, you know, maybe the Knicks are able to go on a little bit of a streak. Nerlens Noel got to start tonight. How'd you like that?
It was okay. I mean, I don't know if you know, he did anything special, but I think what it did do, one, it lit a fire under Mitch. Not that he wasn't, you know, playing hard, but 2, it got him some minutes against San Antonio's second team.
Right.
And I think that helped him as well.
Right. You know, I think, you know, one of the things that I think Tom Thibodeau probably likes about having Nerlens Noel in the starting lineup is that, and would probably have been the same thing for Taj, is that he's just more sound offensively, right? Mm-hmm. As far as, you know, understanding what to do out there on the floor. And I know, you know, people will argue differently, but I feel that way about Taj and Nerlens Noel, that they are all around better defenders than Mitchell Robinson, I think.
Right.
I think Mitchell Robinson is very good blocking shots. I think he's good in the screening role. But as far as understanding rotations, understanding who's going to make what move, when, where, and why, being able to call out rotations, I think those players are better than Mitchell Robinson in that aspect. You know, and maybe helps the defense more. And because of certain things that they can do on the offensive side of the floor, maybe helps the offense more in that starting unit. So, you know, I think this might be something that sticks around for a little while.
Yeah. And then also they set better screens. I think he makes contact on like maybe 3% of his screens. Um, so I think he does, a better job with that. Yeah. Yeah. I think this is going to be it for a little while.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it also gives Mitch the chance to gives him the chance to use his athleticism in that second unit, and maybe allows, if that second unit gets to running with Obi out there and with Mitch out there and Quickly out there and D Rose leading the charge, that can be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So maybe the lineups just fit a little bit better that way. And it allowed Mitch to maybe get more into the offensive side of the ball on that bench.
And they still missed him a few times.
Yeah, right.
For an alley-oop.
Right. Maybe that's due to them guys not playing with him as much, but hopefully as they play with him a little bit more, they come to understand how to utilize him in that second unit. Looking at the box score, RJ Barrett led the way tonight from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. 32 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and only 2 turnovers. He shot 55% from the field, and he was 7 for 8 from the three-point line for his 87.5%.
Wow. There you go.
There it is. Great way to have a breakout game.
Yep.
If that's what you want to say, or at least breaking out of his slump. Really needed RJ to break out of it, and hopefully this is the start of him playing well, hitting shots. Julius Randle tonight, I thought Julius Randle played a really good basketball game. He didn't shoot his greatest from the floor. It's 41%, but in other aspects of the game, I thought he played well. He made quick decisions when he had the basketball. It wasn't sticking in his hands. A couple of times, maybe he took a few extra dribbles, but it didn't really stick in his hands. He kept the ball moving. And it allowed the Knicks to play a good offensive basketball game, I think.
Right. And he had some timely shots, like around the 3-minute mark. He had some timely shots for us.
Exactly. Some timely shots. 15 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, and only 1 turnover for Julius Randle tonight. He was 3 for 5 from the three-point line. Only went to the foul line twice, and he was 2 for 2. Alec Burks had a good floor game, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Emmanuel Quickly had 12 points. Emmanuel Quickly had 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Derrick Rose had 12 points. Then, of course, Mitchell Robinson, he had 11 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Right? Very good game for Mitchell Robinson. And maybe, with him playing more minutes with the opposing team's second unit, is going to allow him to have that type of production out there on the floor. Nerlens Noel, 2 points, 9 rebounds, and 1 block for Nerlens.
Wow.
Yeah, so this was a pretty good game for the New York Knicks. For the San Antonio Spurs, they had pretty much balanced scoring all the way around, which, you come to expect from a Spurs team. Derek White, he had 26 points leading the way for the Spurs, 26 points and 7 assists for Derek White. And then DeJounte Murray had 15 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. Jake Pirtle, 13 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. Doug McDermott had 13 points and 3 assists. Keldon Johnson, who sprained his ankle, I think, was it in the third quarter? Or maybe it was second. I don't know. He sprained his ankle. He went down, but he only had 5 points and 5 rebounds. Brent Forbes, he had 12 points on the night. And the Spurs basically played the type of game that, what we talked about in the pregame. They played that type of basketball game, basically. Similar numbers, 109 points, 45% from the field, 38% from the three-point line, 30 assists. That's what you come to expect from the San Antonio Spurs, but the Knicks just played better all around tonight. They hit shots. I guess you can just, I guess it can really just come down to that.
Yeah.
they hit shots tonight, and when you hit shots, you give yourself a chance to win basketball games.
Right.
Hopefully this is the start of the Knicks, being able to hit shots consistently. Anything
Right.
else in this game stick out to you?
I thought the energy was better. You just saw them, rooting for each other, happy for each other, happy for Mitch, happy for RJ. I thought they played at a quicker pace. They were pushing the ball up the court more. Um, but I think it just underscored the fact that, up to this point, we talking about Tibbs, we talking about the offense, we talking about all these things. And basically, it just comes down to hitting shots, and guys showing up. And like you talked about in the pregame, winning your matchup. RJ won his matchup. Mitch won his, matchup. Randle won his matchup. I mean, McDermott hit some shots. He went to the lane a little bit, but he didn't dominate in this game. Burke won his matchup. I'm not sure what DeJounte's line was. I'm sure it was a good one, but he didn't kill us, So at the end of the day, if you want to win games, guys have to show up and hit shots. And today they did.
Right. And DeJounte Murray and Alec Burks, that was our key to the game, key matchup of the game when we did the show earlier today. And Alec Burks had 18, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. DeJounte Murray, 15, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, basically played each other to a duel.
Right.
They basically offset each other. When you look at it, it really is RJ Barrett in his production that set the Knicks apart from the Spurs. 32 points for RJ Barrett. Everybody else, even with the Spurs, they had balanced scoring. 26 from Derek White. You had someone with 13, 15, 12. With the Knicks, it's the same way. 32 from RJ, but then you had 15, 18, 11, 12, 16. The Knicks had more people involved, in the scoring than the Spurs did. This was a good one, ladies and gentlemen. This was one that we could be happy about, and hope that the Knicks can bottle it up and take it with them. The Knicks win the rebounding battle over the San Antonio Spurs. Looks like it's 56-50. 56-50 winning the rebounding battle. The Knicks had 22 assists. The Spurs had 30 assists. They averaged 27 assists on the season, so they're right there around their average. The Knicks average about 21 on the season. They had 22 tonight, so they're right there about, their average. 7 steals for the Knicks, 5 for the San Antonio Spurs, 5 blocks for the Knicks, only 4 for the Spurs. Both teams took care of the ball. You come to expect that when you're dealing with a Tom Thibodeau and a Greg Popovich team. 10 turnovers for both teams. The Knicks finally shot well from the field, 47% from the field. 47% from 3 for the New York Knicks. 89% from the free throw line. For the Spurs, they shot 44% from the field, 38% from 3, and 75% from the free throw line. Spurs still had a lot of points in the paint, 54 points in the paint. And that's about what they averaged. When we looked at it during the game preview, they were averaging 54 points in the paint, and they scored 54 points in the paint tonight. The Knicks only 32, but they were shooting so well from the three-point line. A lot of their buckets came from the three-point line. 21 second chance points for the Knicks, 8 for the Spurs, 11 fast break points for the Knicks, and 7 for the San Antonio Spurs. Those right there, ladies and gentlemen, those are your numbers. The biggest lead the Knicks had is 16. The biggest lead from the Spurs was 5. And, of course, the Knicks won the game by about 12 points. So, for the most part, they held their lead. Right? Something we talk about all the time. You got to hold the lead, and they were able to hold the lead tonight. Nate, what's going on, man? What's popping with you?
What's up, Tim? What's up, Queen? How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. Yeah, great win. I mean, it was a lot of good things that I saw in the game. The ball movement was very good. got a lot of easy baskets. I love to see that. Mitch Robinson looked like his hair was on fire tonight. Honestly, Tibbs might be onto something. Maybe he's better off coming off the bench. They were talking about in the game about his conditioning, how they don't feel like he's there yet. So, and Noel's a better shot blocker, at least right now, than Mitch is. But I liked Mitch coming off the bench. I thought he was really good with that second unit. The team looked good overall. My biggest concern with this team still is the wide open threes. I mean, you're going to get teams where they're going to make a high clip of these 3-pointers. And are the Knicks going to be in these ball games? That's my question, because we give up a lot of open threes. And the Spurs missed a lot of open threes tonight. I think Forbes is the only one that was really knocking them down on a consistent level.
I mean, the Spurs, they shot their average tonight.
Yeah.
That's what they average. They shoot about 38% from. Actually, they shot more than their average. I think they shot 36% from the 3-point line tonight. They made 38.7% of their threes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the Knicks played well. It's good to get a win. I don't know why this team looks better on the road than they look at home. I cannot figure it out. Maybe they just like playing on the road. Maybe it's more of a camaraderie type of thing when they're bonding on the road and all that, and they just play more loose, because it looks like when they play at the Garden, they play really tight, especially when the game gets close. And I feel like on the road, they play more loose. They're having fun,
Yeah,
they're enjoying themselves.
It could be that, it could be, maybe Orlando just is one of those teams that has their number. And, then they played some other teams that were able to beat them at home. We'll see as the season continues on if the Knicks continue to struggle at home. And it could be the pressure of the Garden.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? It could be. What we do know is that the Knicks got to fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to make it throughout the season. I mean, I guess you can, if you think that's the way you're going to win, you can have a better road record than home record. But, when it comes playoff time, you want to have that home court advantage. You know what I mean? If the Knicks make the playoffs.
You know what it is? I was thinking about this when I was watching the game. When we watched the Knicks games last year, and this was during COVID, and then when the crowd started coming back, this team played with juice at home. They played with excitement. They were running up and down the court. I mean, they were fun, to watch. And it almost seems like it's kind of the opposite at times with this team when you watch them at home. They look very like dull, not very excited. The crowd tries their best to keep in the game, but if the Knicks are playing really bad, they're going to boo them, which they should. It's just like night and day with this team. It really is, because if you look at last year, some of the best games were at the Garden last year. I mean, it was rocking. It was crazy. The crowd was into it. The players were into it. It just seems like early on, it's not there.
Well, I mean, we'll see. Hopefully this is going to be the start of something for the Knicks.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
I gotta hope for that.
Hopefully this is going to be the start of something as we go on through the remainder of the season. You know what I'm saying? This was just an overall good win from the New York Knicks. There's not much that you can complain about in this game. I see some people complaining about this person or that person, missing defensive assignments or whatever. There really isn't a lot that you can complain about in this game. You can only hope that they take what they've done and duplicate it going into Indiana.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a few keys that you see that leads to wins. Obviously, shooting is one of them, right? Knocking down your open shots, low turnovers, not making mental mistakes, rebounding the basketball. Like, these are things that are always keys to winning basketball games, and the Knicks haven't done any of those things consistently. Even though they have a good they don't turn the ball over much on average for the season. We've seen them have some bad turnover games, 18, 19 turnovers. You know what I'm saying? But when they play the right way and don't turn over the basketball and make shots, they usually have a chance to win the basketball game. I think some real keys, though, besides those stats, RJ's not going to score 32 every night, but he's got to be some resemblance of what he did tonight. You know what I'm saying? Shoot 46%. Knock down 40% of your threes, and you're doing okay. I think Julius Randle has to continue to make quick decisions out there on the floor, not allow the quasi double team to affect them. You know what I'm saying? Get the ball. If you don't see what you want right away, just get it out your hands.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let the ball keep moving and flying to the other side of the floor. If you're going to take a shot, just take a quick shot.
Right.
Just take a quick shot. That's all that I really ask. Even if, I don't want him to take bad shots, but even if it's a bad shot, just take it quick.
Right.
Yeah. Make a decision quick.
Right.
Yeah. Because when he holds the ball, everyone's standing around watching him. The offense is stagnant. The defense is able to load up. If he does whatever he's going to do quick, it's going to allow everyone else to get into a better rhythm, I think. No one's standing around watching. The defense really doesn't have time to cue in, and it's going to, make for a better basketball game all around.
Right.
And I think those two things right there will help this team to, go ahead and win some games. They're back to 500 now. Alec Burks again, though, tonight played a good game, 18 points. We took a look at Alec Burks since he's been starting. He's averaging 18 points since he's been starting. About
what's his assist numbers?
About 5 rebounds and 3 assists or something like that. Steph, do you think this is what we can expect from Alec Burks every single night?
I think so. I mean, he's a capable scorer. It's just about having the opportunity. So I think we can definitely expect that. He's a good rebounder for his size. I mean, he's not a playmaker. That's not, I don't think that's why Tibbs put him in that starting lineup to begin with. So I wouldn't look at that in terms of to determine whether the team is playing, whether he's playing well in the starting lineup. You got to look at the entire team.
Right.
So I think, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He can do that in his sleep, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Our bench tonight had 45 points from the bench. Or 43 points. 43 points from the bench. Do you think Quentin Grimes only got 8.1 seconds? So it's pretty clear that Tom Thibodeau is going to stick with a 9-man rotation. So it's a little bit tighter. If he does that, that means more minutes for Quickly, more minutes for Rose, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with Mitchell Robinson on the bench, more minutes for Robinson. Maybe on the bench, maybe more minutes for those guys. Do you think, in the long run, Alec Burks being in the starting lineup, is it going to affect the bench production? Or does having Mitch go to the bench with what we spoke about earlier and possibly his ability to mesh with that second unit, maybe they find him a little bit more, maybe he becomes more or a bigger part of the offense, do you think their production remains the same?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I think it goes down because now it's only 4 bench players, because he shortened the rotation. It's not like he put, Grimes in there. He shortened the rotation, and I noticed Burks in there with the second team for a little bit. He'll probably play RJ. I am hoping that, Mitch will get more points. Mitch could have had 20 tonight. There was at least 3 alley-oops that they missed. But I do think our bench scoring goes down. But if our starters play better, it'll be a wash. I think we'll be good.
And actually, I had that number wrong. I said 43 points from the bench. It's more like 54, I believe, because Mitch had 11. So Mitch had 11, Quickly had 16, Derrick Rose had 12, Obi Toppin had 8. So no, that's 4, 7. That's 47 points from the bench. There we go. I accidentally added in Evan Fournier. So that's like 47 points from the bench. That's about, I mean, that's good bench scoring.
Yeah, that's about what they were scoring, right?
That's about what they were
With
scoring. Yeah. Yeah. Because you kind of, Mitch has more ability to score than Nerlens Noel because of his ability to catch the oop, right? So I think you kind of maybe swap out, you put Mitch's ability to score, his 10 points on the bench, and you bring Burks into the starting unit where he's going to hopefully give you 18 a night. And Nerlens Noel is probably only going to give you 5 or 6 points.
Right.
So you're still adding a little bit more bench production, a little bit to the bench with Mitchell Robinson. And then those other guys should be able to give you, close to what they gave you tonight. Rose probably 12 a night. Quickly, maybe not 16, but 8 to 10 points a night. So maybe it comes down. Maybe they still can give you 40 points a night.
Yeah, and don't forget that Mitch is better at offensive rebounding and putbacks.
Yeah.
So he can score that way as well.
Exactly.
Maybe this is it. Maybe he's on to something with this lineup here and the way that this rotation works. Maybe he's on to something a little bit more. We'll see how it works versus the Indiana Pacers.
Right. We don't want to get too high.
Right.
Come crashing down tomorrow.
Right. We'll see how it works versus the Pacers, because now dealing with the Pacers, I don't want to say you have something new to deal with, but you have a center in Miles Turner who has the ability to knock down the three. Right. We know that Mitch has had, he's had some trouble dealing with centers who can knock down the three.
Right.
We'll see if he's able, now with Nerlens Noel out there, if that, if we shore that defense up a little bit.
Right.
Guarding 3-point shooting centers, because Miles Turner can knock down a three. So we'll see how it looks. And now we'll also get a chance to see Alec Burks facing off against Malcolm Brogdon.
Exactly, bigger guard.
Right, a bigger guard.
Right, a bigger guard defending him. So this is going to look a little bit different. The Indiana Pacers are 10-16. The Knicks are 12-12, and they'll be looking to get back above 500 now.
Right.
Right after tonight's win, the Knicks are still in the 11th spot, a half game behind the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks are 13-12. The Knicks are 12-12. The Cavaliers, they're still hanging in there. They're 13-12. The Hornets are 14-12. 76ers are 13-11. If the Knicks can win tomorrow night, they'll be 13-12. And I'm not sure if the Hawks play tomorrow night or not, but if the Hawks do not play, the Knicks will move into that 10th seed. And then, we need them to continue to, they got to beat Toronto and have a chance to move back up into maybe even this is what's crazy. If the Knicks win tomorrow and then they beat Toronto, they'll have a chance to move all the way up to the 6th seed.
Right.
Because the 6th seed, the Boston Celtics, are 13-11. Depending on, who wins and loses, there's a chance the Knicks could move all the way up to the 6th seed or, be in the 8th or 7th seed. That's how crazy and tight it is in the Eastern Conference right now. You got to be on your P's and Q's.
Yeah, it was like last year. Last year was the same way. I think most of the conference was separated by maybe a couple of games in the win and loss records. The thing with the Knicks for me is they just got to get consistent. I mean, we got to see more consistent ball. We got to see more consistency from the players, especially RJ Barrett. I mean, I was thinking about this too when I was watching the game. for us to take the next step and go from being an average team to a good team to being a great team, RJ Barrett has got to be a part of that. I mean, if he's not a part of that, this team is average to good at best. And that's as far as we're going to go. RJ Barrett has got to be on that upscale. He's got to stay consistent around that 16, 18 points a game a night. You know, we can't have these duds where he comes in and scores 5 points and then scores 32 the next game. He's got to stay consistent. If he can become consistent around 16, 18 points a game, I really think this team can take it to the next level. But
I think it's more. You know, if he's scoring 16 to 18, I want it to be efficient, not just consistent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, someone can score 16, but, you know, the shooting was bad. I want it to be consistent and efficient. Like, he was very efficient tonight.
Yeah.
You know, because, I mean, for the season, he's averaging 13 for the season.
Yeah. Either way, he's got to give us points. I mean, yeah, I get your consistency, what you're saying shooting-wise, but he's got to give us at least 16 to 18 points a game to help out Randle and help out Fournier. If those guys can average around the same, then you're talking about the bench coming in and putting their points in, and then we're scoring over 100 points a game, you know, and we're in better shape. But when RJ gives us nothing or very little, that somebody has to step up more, and that's not necessarily – we don't necessarily have those kind of players – on a consistency to do that.
Yeah.
You know, RJ probably would be the most consistent player I would hope that could do that for us.
Yeah. Steph, let me ask you this. Why would this team, good shooting tonight, 47% from the field, 47% from three, but we still only have 22 assists?
Yeah, that's
No point guard.
That's a good point.
No point guard.
Well, I'm wondering if they were just creating their own shots, you know. Yeah.
I mean, and the Spurs, who, you know, shot okay, but didn't shoot as well as the Knicks, 45% from the field, 37% from three, 38% from three, still had 30 assists.
Wow. But you saw how that ball was whipping around. They was cutting. It was
Right.
They was playing.
It's all about
playing
ball movement
different.
with the Spurs. All about ball movement.
And player movement.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and that's what allows them to always you're always nervous and worried when you're playing the Spurs. You know what I mean? Because
somebody in the chat said we dribble too much. It's true.
Well, that's
dribble,
true.
you lose the assists.
Yeah.
Or we just play hero ball. We play hero ball a lot. Like you look at that fourth quarter, I don't know how many times Quickly was trying to take him one-on-one and either made the shot or missed the shot. You know, I just feel like we have a lot of hero players on this team that don't want to pass. They feel like they got to take that one-on-one situation, and either they're going to make it or they're not going to make it. And that's not good.
Yeah. I didn't see that tonight though. I saw a lot of ball movement.
I saw Quickly in the fourth quarter doing that.
I mean, listen, here and there, players are Quickly is gonna take his shot. Randall's gonna, you know, isolate, you know, and take his shots. But for the most part, I thought they moved the ball. RJ Barrett said in the interview afterwards that that's something that they worked on a lot yesterday. You know, getting stops and moving the ball.
Right. You know, now they just have to continue to do it. See, if I was Tom Thibodeau, I wouldn't give these guys no rest.
Right.
I'd continue to have somehow, some way, have practice.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be a practice where you're running and all that kind of stuff. But even if it's in shoot around, you know, practice. You know, because I think this is a team that can easily, because of the type of players we have, the ball movement maybe doesn't come natural. And so maybe it's something that needs to be consistently reminded. And so when they have 3, 4, 5 games, or, you know, they have 2 weeks without practice because they have so many games, they start to lose it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they start to lose it, and they need to consistently be in practice or have it consistently emphasized in order for it to stay at the top of their mind.
Right.
I know last year they were talking about having practices in hotel ballrooms or something. I don't know. Something crazy like that. And maybe the same thing needs to be done.
Yeah.
You can't assume that from last year, like, okay, they get it, they got it. Maybe this is the kind of team that you just have to consistently stay on it and do it and do it and do it until it finally becomes second nature for them to just play that style of basketball.
Right.
Well,
because the next game they can go right back. They can revert right back to their old ways. So.
Right.
And not only that, but you got to practice your principles when you don't have a floor general, because you got to find ways to generate assist, because you don't have a floor general like a CP3. You don't have a floor general like God.
I mean, we get it. I didn't. Yeah.
Get it. So I mean, so you have to find a way to just create your own assist situations, and Burke is doing what he can and all that, but he's not a point guard. And until we really solve that issue of a point guard, you're not going to really see the flow of this offense or the potential of this offense, in my opinion.
I mean, well, that's going to be a while, because we're not going to find.
Yeah, I know.
We're not going to have a point guard.
Yeah.
My player of the game, obviously, is R.J. Barrett. Player of the game, but Julius Randle. He, like I said earlier, played a really good game tonight. I thought, stepped up when he needed to step up. Became aggressive when he needed to become aggressive, but still understood, hey, I got to make sure that, when Quickly was hitting threes, he found Quickly, a few times. So I thought he played a really, really good game, and I hope he can continue to do that, right? Now, let's take a little bit of a dive into this Indiana Pacers game. And I see Sherwin M said the motion offense don't require a floor general. It may not require a floor general, but you know what? You still need somebody to make sure everybody on the floor is doing what they're supposed to do. You still need that guy out there that keeps everybody on point.
Tibbs can't be yelling at everybody all the time.
You still
even though he
need
wants
those
to.
guys, and it's tough. Everybody doesn't have that luxury. But the Pacers, I think we're 1-1 with the Pacers this season so far, right?
Yes.
Looking at the Knicks now and the way that we're playing, not the way that we're playing, but the lineups that we're using, how, Steph, do you take this matchup? How do you see this matchup versus the Pacers?
I mean, what I like about it is that we're not coming in with a lost matchup at the one position. I think that Burke, though he's not Brogdon, Brogdon is not a great playmaker either. At least with his size, he can guard him, and create trouble for him. So I actually like that. I think it gives us a better chance when you're not, the other thing is the perimeter defense, not automatically going in, knowing that you're going to have to rotate because your guy is going to get beat off of the dribble. There's no containment. So I think that definitely helps us. The Randle Sabonis matchup is always fun. Let's see if Noel, like you said earlier, could do a better job on Miles Turner. And, hopefully we can come out of there with one or two players and leave a few of our players there.
We're just going to kidnap them.
Start with Duarte.
Yeah. Nate, what's your thoughts about this game coming up?
So it's funny with the Pacers. The Pacers are a very similar team that we are. They're still kind of figuring themselves out. They have a good player in Sabonis. We have a good player in Randle. And they've got a lot of, average, okay players. They're a hard-nosed team. And the Knicks are going to have to be ready. I mean, they're coming off a back-to-back. So, I'm hoping the legs are still there. Should be fine. It's going to come down to hustle and second chance points. One thing about the Knicks that I really am getting frustrated with the Knicks is that we give up way too many second chance points. And it leads to threes. I've noticed that. I've seen the pattern where, they get the rebound, they kick it out, and it's a wide open three. The Knicks are going to have to be careful with this because Brogdon can shoot the three. Duarte can shoot. Is Duarte playing? I haven't seen the injury report. Okay, Duarte playing?
Yeah. I
Duarte.
So, but.
Yeah, Duarte, LeVert. I mean, these guys can shoot. And the Knicks are going to have to be on their P's and Q's as far as the defense, the rotations. But I'm really going to be looking at the center position because no disrespect to Noel, but he's a beanpole. And if Turner decides to even try to take him inside, probably won't, but he should. But that could be a little bit of struggle for Noel or whoever's going on the boards. And then, of course, Brogdon against Burks. I actually give the advantage to Brogdon. I like Brogdon a lot. I want Brogdon on this team, but that's not going to happen. But it's going to be tough. On the road, back-to-back, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. The Public Enemy #1 said, Knicks fans sound like reruns of Martin on BET and VH1. Still crying about point guards. We have point guards. I'm tired of hearing about the same old, same old. Well, we keep seeing the same old, so you're going to hear about the same old, same old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Which point guards we have? I mean, we're talking about
every team has a point guard.
Successful, right? We're not just somebody who can run out at the position, but somebody who's good at the position, plays the position well, and changes the dynamic of your team.
Yeah. I mean,
playmaker.
Right. I mean, I have a point guard on my high school team. She's in the 8th grade. She don't have a left, but she's the best point guard that I got. And she's never played basketball before.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like she hasn't played basketball before, but she never played organized basketball before. She's struggling right now figuring out how to, when is a team in a 3-2 zone or a 2-3 zone or a man, and what offense do I call against each one of these defenses? Although she knows them, when she's under pressure, she has a hard time thinking about them. But guess what? She's a point guard. And would the team right now look better with another point guard? Probably so, but I don't have that other point guard. So right now, she's an 8th grader playing varsity. And she's handling her own, I can tell you that. But she has a lot to learn. She's trying to learn how to be a floor general. We don't have that. We got 8th graders playing varsity right now. Or trying to figure it out. So
And the reality is, let's take an example like San Antonio. Listen, DeJounte Murray is never going to be a star in this league, but he's a solid point guard, and he can get you buckets. He can pass the ball. He can play great defense. DeJounte Murray would be the better point guard on our team right now, period. And he's not even in the talk for maybe a top 10 point guard. Maybe this year he is because he's actually playing really well. But in the years past, he probably wouldn't even be talked about in the top 10 point guards. So if he's the best point guard on our team, where does that put our point guards?
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Yes, we have point guards. We do. We have point guards.
Everybody's got point guards.
We have point guards. Do we have the point guards that we need? Then that's
right. That's the question.
That's the question. Do we have the point guard that we need? And I don't think we do. I mean, Derrick Rose is fine for what he is, but I think, I love Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is my favorite player on the team. He is. He's my favorite player on the team. But, he's not the floor general that I think this team needs. That's all I'm saying. He's not, we need a floor general out there, and we're not going to get it. So, we know we got to deal with what we have and figure out how to play with the team that we have out there. And that's what Tom Thibodeau is doing right now, trying to get the right lineups that can work together. And hopefully he found it.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't, anything else that anything else on your mind from this one, Nate?
Other than Tibbs using the F word and catching it on TV.
Right. Well, that's Tibbs. You're gonna catch that one on TV.
That was funny, and they were actually blaming the Spurs crowd because there was nobody there. That it was so quiet that you could literally hear Tibbs yelling at somebody.
Yeah.
I think I locked myself out.
Yeah. Steph, any
The Knicks look good. I think it's just a matter of can we keep it up? We've looked good for a game. Can we keep it up? Same thing for RJ Barrett. Listen, I need RJ Barrett to start trusting his right hand again. I mean, I'm glad that the 3-point shot is falling, but earlier in the season he was going right and he was making it.
Right.
So I need him to get back. I'm glad he's back to basics, hitting the 3. That's a start. But I would really also like to see him when he's on the right side and attack the basket, not pass it off. Like, go in there strong, finish, trust that right hand. I think, if he's able to do that, the Knicks are going to be better. At the end of the day, Sam, like we talked about, it's not this one didn't pass and this one is holding the ball. This one, you got to make the shots you get. And the Knicks did that. And if they continue to do that, we're going to be good.
Yeah, no doubt. Kevin Middleton, he said, it sounds like the revenge season for teams y'all been blowing out the past 2 years, but they'll be ready by the 10th grade. Yeah, it's a revenge season. You better believe that. It's going to be a revenge season this year. But, couple of seasons under their belt, they'll be good to go. Spree, what's popping, man? How you feeling?
I feel better, man. I feel better. How you feeling?
I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling much better.
I mean, when we play like that and we get a win after last few games, it's just you feel better about your night and able to sleep well. So I just question for you. Of the shots Randle took tonight, I didn't think any of them were forced. Maybe one.
Right.
Maybe
one. Maybe. Yeah,
much better.
I thought Randle took good shots. I thought Randle played an excellent game tonight. Excellent game. I thought he played an excellent game.
I think, to me, this is good film for him. Like, this is how he has to play. He was under control, low turnover, 7 assists. Didn't really have an issue with anything he was doing on the court. I thought he was quick. I thought he read the game well. He shot it when he needed to shoot it. To me, like, when people say he can't do it, and I'm one of those people, like, after a bad loss, when he doesn't play well and doesn't read the game well, I'm down. I'm like, can he do it? Can he? And then he puts a game tonight where he shows me he can do it. So why he can do this? He can do it. It just he's got to just. This is good film for him. Just be under control. The game is easy, and people. It's not just him. They all got in their right spots. RJ, I guess you got to call him out, Sin, to get him going. I know he's been sick, but
right.
I'm happy for him.
He was a mess before he got sick.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Right.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Noel starting?
I mean, I think it's good. I think it's good. Just because of the little things that he has knowledge of in the game that I don't think Mitch has yet.
Right. I think he's just quicker.
Yeah. He just understands. He can see rotations before they happen, or what could possibly happen before it happens, which I just don't think Mitch has that type of IQ yet, and maybe one day he will. I want to ask you this though, Spree. You said you see Randle can play this type of game. It's much easier to play this kind of game when your teammates are hitting shots.
True.
But can he continue to play this type of game when his teammates are not hitting shots?
I think I want him to. I think he has to. There's going to be times where I want him to take over when he has the matchup. I mean, it's obviously, but no, this is the right way to play. If they're going to load up, he's got to. It's like LeBron James. Okay, there are times when you have to take over the game. I think it's easier for LeBron because he's a better mover than Randle on the run. But when they load up, guys got to make shots, and you have to trust your teammates. That's why it's so important that RJ can shoot it. That's why important Burks can shoot it. Fournier. And I know Fournier's been hit or miss, but, like, get in your right spots, he'll find you. So, I mean, I just think this is how for this to be maximized, Julius, to me, it's got to be a balanced playmaking type of game, low turnover, get the assist from him. He's the one that can get us the most assists. And I think with Mitch, I don't think it's a coincidence that Mitch played his best game of the year off the bench. I just think he can freelance a little more right now with him still figuring it out, conditioning, playing against second units. I kind of like it. And I think Mitch is only going to get better if we keep that pairing. And I know that's easy for me to say, Sim, after just one game where it worked. But you're hoping, you're searching. We're searching right now.
Right. We are searching, and it's easy. When you look at a game like this, and yes, it's perfect film for everybody on the team to look at it and say, okay, here's what we can do. It's always going to look better when everyone's making shots.
Right.
The hard part is when people are not making shots. Now what? Right. That's where my question comes with Randle. When RJ, when whoever is not making shots, and like Margaret is saying, she said, well, Randle was a passer because RJ was hitting shots. When RJ's shots don't go down, that is a huge problem. What do we expect Randle to do when shots are not going down?
I think, what do we expect him to do? I think I'd like him to get downhill, get to the free throw line. I think that next game, when Randle drove the ball, I don't know what we shot from the field, but that was a game where he was aggressive. Like, I want him to still be aggressive, not out of control. But, yeah, I mean, they have to make shots. But if they don't, RJ's got to cut. Fournier, cut to the basket. Get some easy ones. Like, your shot's not always going to fall, and I get that. I mean, we're not going to have nights like tonight where we shot, 50% from three? It's not going to happen.
Right.
But we have to play the right way, and the right way is for guys to cut, get easy baskets. Randle's still going to get his shots. It's just I want him to take the right shots and be aggressive, get to your spots. But we just don't have enough passing. We have to get the assist from Randle. Burks gave me 5, which was great. I mean, but I need assists. I need to get to 20-plus assists. That's what I want. No, I don't care about points with Randle. Randle's going to get his. Okay. I need assists for us to win.
I hear you. But if guys aren't making shots, there's going to be no assist. And, if guys are making shots, obviously there's going to be assists. But I think where the issue comes in with Randle is when people are not making shots. Randle is supposed to be the guy that when people are not making shots, he can go get the buckets. And he hasn't proven to do that this season so far.
Correct.
And I think that's where it's really a struggle, because when they're not making shots, he hasn't proven to have, in my opinion, a strong enough mid-range game where he can catch it, jab step once or twice, and pull it up and knock it down. Consistently. You know what I'm saying? Right. And because when he goes low in the post, sometimes they're gonna send, especially if people aren't making shots, they're gonna send 2 and 3 people at him, figuring they're gonna miss it anyway. And now Randle's trapped around 3 and 4 people. I think that's where he struggles right now is when people ain't making shots. How do I get a bucket?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, and it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. I've never been that guy. I don't know. I just know if there's 2 guys on you and guys aren't making shots, you still got to trust.
Yeah, I agree.
You also have to take over. I mean, that's part of it. That's part of it. When to go, when not to go. But I'll say this: one other thing we should factor in. When Julius plays like he did tonight, where guys are making shots, you notice how fresh he is later in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So I need to keep him fresh, but in an ideal world, Sim, I'd love for everyone to make shots so we don't have that problem. But I realize there's going to be good defensive teams. But my whole thing, man, with Randle is he's trying to do the right things. I'm trying to help him. I think tonight was a baby step in the right direction. And I think Pacers are a good team. Just continue to work on it. Like we're going to get there. But my whole thing is trying to help Randle get it. The more he does it, the more he'll get better at it. But he's our guy. I'm not giving up on him. I'm not trading him. I know people hate on Randle. He's our guy. We're going to if we're going to go places, this is the guy that's gonna take us there. So I'm supporting him. I'm trying to help. That's all I got, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm supporting him. I'm supporting him all the way. Hopefully he, sometimes the learning curve is really tough to get through. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just really tough to get through, and you got to keep battling and fighting until you get to the other side. It's tough on players, and it can be tough on fans too.
He's trying to do the right thing. So, all I can ask him to do, look, I can accept mistakes if you're trying to play the game the right way. And he gives good effort. He's saying the right thing, Sim. That's all I can ask for as a fan of the team. I can't criticize a guy when he's trying to do the right things out there. So if he gives good effort, I'll continue to try to help the guy. That's all I got.
No doubt. Hey, Spree, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you for the call.
Talk tomorrow. Yep.
All right.
Can I make a comment, Sam?
Yeah, sure.
For me, I don't see how Randle played any differently today than any other game. The only difference is that guys hit shots. Mm-hmm. Randle is always passing to other players, trying to get them involved. So, I just don't get the narrative of him being now. His decision making, that's a different story.
Right.
Him not hitting free throws in the clutch, that's a different story. Turning the ball over, that's a different story. But I don't see him as this selfish player that's just trying to jack up shots for himself. He's always looking to get other players involved, pass the ball to other players. Today, it looked better because guys was hitting shots. Mm-hmm. And because they were hitting shots, he wasn't forcing the issue. Y'all hitting it, I'm just going to keep feeding you guys. I'm going to keep passing it. He's playing the game as the game is coming to him, as the game is happening in the moment. He can't play like this on a day when guys are not hitting shots, where he don't take any shots himself. You can't do that when guys are not taking shots. So, I get it. I've been watching Randle the past, forever, obviously, but I've seen his game change. I don't know, maybe the 10th game of the season.
Right.
Where he wasn't ISOing so much. So he's not doing that. And listen, this is not the Harlem Globetrotters. People just want the ball to be flowing, and then you take a shot. It doesn't happen that way.
Right.
Look at any team in the NBA. When the ball gets to your best player, they stop, they set up, and they get into their bag, whatever it is. The only guys who will just catch it and shoot it are the catch and shoot guys. But if you're not a catch and shoot guy, when the ball comes to you, yes, the ball will stop so you can get into your bag. You can look at Harden, you can look at Durant, you can look at Paul George, you can look at any of these guys. They do this exact same thing. So can we stop with he was an ISO? They do that all over the league. That's how the game is played in the NBA. Right. However, when you double team, you move it. My issue with Randle is he's looking to pass more than he's looking to score. Like you just talked about it, Sam, perfectly. When he's in that mid-range, short jab step, put the ball up.
Yep.
He looking around for other people. No.
Right, exactly.
Score the ball. Who are you looking for? That's my thing with Randle. Yeah. He's playing slow because he's trying to get other people involved. I just feel like, I'm not saying don't get other people involved, but when you that low in the low post, the mid post, you looking to score. Yeah. The only time you passing that ball is if there's a double team and they are forcing you to pass. Exactly. That way he would play quicker. He's playing slow. Oh, I'm going to get them down. And as soon as they come, I see quickly in the corner. Stop seeing quickly and just play the game, and he would be much quicker, especially in that mid range, because he has jab step, the fade away, but he's looking to see who I can get the ball to. Score the ball when you're in that position, pass when you have to.
Right.
But other than that, I think he's, what is the game asking from you? And it's asking for different things on different nights. And tonight, especially in the first half, it wasn't asking him to score.
Right.
Guys had it going, and he stepped back and allowed it to happen. So I don't really see much difference. I got to be honest. In Randle's game, he's a willing passer. He gets in the ISO, but so does everybody else.
Yeah.
My issue with Randle is his decision making, his free throw shooting, not coming up big in the clutch. Now today he did. He made some timely shots when they were trying to cut into the lead. That's what we need him. That's what we need him to do. So
right.
Yeah.
The only difference that I seen from Randle tonight is I just thought he made his decisions quicker. Whatever he was going to do, he made the decision. This is, he didn't play around with the ball a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If he was going to make the pass, he made it. If he was going to make a move, he made it. 1, 2, maybe 3 dribbles to get to where he wanted to go, and then he made the move. You know what I mean? I never had a problem with people with Randle shooting the ball or, deciding that he was going to take a shot. I just want it to be done quick.
Right.
I just want you to make your decision, figure out what you're going to do and make that decision and then get it done. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And I feel like if he does that, everyone's going to be better off because now people, like you're saying, he's not standing there thinking about who's open, who's not open, who's this. He's just making a quick move and everyone can react off of that.
Right. But I thought he did that in the Nets game. I thought he did that in the what was the other team? And, in the Chicago game. But you're right. I think what slows him down is he's looking for people.
Yeah.
Stop looking for people. Make your move quick and react to what the defense does. I agree with that. He does have to move fast.
Yeah. And maybe they're talking to him about it too. The coaching staff is talking to him about, hey, get your move out. Just do it.
Right.
Don't think about it.
Right.
Big shout out to Jason. Make sure I got the last name correct. Kalakanis. Hopefully I said it right. Thank you for the $50 super chat. Definitely appreciate you for that. Thank you. He said, Tibbs is holding everyone accountable, and Mitch and RJ responded. That's what we need. Kemba benching has everyone on notice. Step up or sit down. Yeah, I tell you, that's definitely the truth, man. And Jason, again, thank you for the super chat. I really, really appreciate you, my friend. That's definitely the truth. When you bench someone like Kemba, for the sake of the team, everybody looks and says, wow, that could be me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Kemba has status in the league and, he's been an all-star, 4-time all-star, reputable player. And, Tibbs benched him. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely does put people on notice. Now, Tibbs did come out and say that he wasn't trying to come at RJ with that comment the other day. He said that he was simply saying, look, he's been sick. Now get back into the gym, do what you got to do, blase, blase, blah. But, there are certain things that Tibbs says that's pointed towards people. Like, for example, today, in his interview after the shoot around, he said, we got to get back to not being selfish or unselfishness. So who's he talking to about that? Right? He's talking about somebody because somebody's on the floor he feels is being selfish. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And selfish could mean a number of things. Selfish could mean that I want the shot. Selfish could mean I want my assist, so I'm looking for people to pass it to, right? Mm-hmm. Selfish could mean a lot of different things out there on the floor, not just shooting the basketball. So I'm sure, Tibbs is, I'm sure he's speaking to people personally, but also sending a few messages through the media. And guys, hopefully are responding. You know, at least they responded tonight. You know, and we'll see if will continue to respond. But overall, really good win for the New York Knicks. Have we won any back-to-back games so far yet this season?
If so, early during that 5-1.
Yeah, it might have, if we did, it would have been early there. I don't remember if we won any. I don't know, but this would be the time to do it. We need it. You know, get it done at the beginning. Rand Rock said at the beginning, you know, this would be the time to do it. You know, win some back-to-back games, get some rest, and then finish this trip off 3-0. That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But Steph, I'm gonna head out of here. Any last words before we get out of here?
Let's go Knicks. Hopefully this is the beginning of a good run for us, and we come back to face Milwaukee 3-0.
Yeah, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I'm out for the night. Once again, thank you to Jason for the $50 super chat. Thank you to everyone who gave a super chat tonight. Really appreciate you and your time. And ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. I'll catch you tomorrow. The pregame show. The Knicks take on the Pacers. We're out.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.